How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie is a celebrated classic on how to dissolve worry and live a fulfilling life. It's practical, simple and easy to read. It'll teach you to appreciate the little things, improve your mental health, build your self-confidence and lead a stress-free, happy life. Dale Carnegie was born in 1888. He was one of the first published authors in self-improvement, and has written over 10 books on topics like behavior change, public speaking, interpersonal skills, habits, and applying all of those in a business context. He believed that the best way to change others is to change oneself, a principle that underpinned most of the ideas in his evergreen bestseller How to Win Friends and Influence People, which has sold over 30 million copies to date. This book was published 12 years later, 1948, and describes several ways to deal with worry. Research shows that 40% of the things we worry about never happen. 30% of the things we worry about have already happened, and actually only 8% of what we worry about actually happens. These 10 tips taken from Dale Carnegie's book How to Stop Worry and Start Living offer simple techniques to ensure worry doesn't dominate your life. These are the top 10 tips to grab worry by the horns and wrestle it to the ground. Number 1. Live for today, pack things up in day-tight compartments. Only worry about what's happening today, that's all you can control. The rule is simple. Whatever happened in the past or might happen in the future must not intrude upon today. Everything else has to wait its turn for tomorrow's box or stay stuck in the past. Number 2. Embrace the worst-case scenario and strategize to offset it. Try and face your problems logically. Follow these 3 simple steps. What's the very worst that can happen? Prepare to accept the worst. Think of ways to improve on it. If you're worried about something, ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? Could you lose your job? Be arrested? Get killed? Whatever the worst might be, it's probably not so world-ending. You could probably even bounce back from it. If, for example, you lose your job, you could always find another. Once you accept the worst-case scenario and get thinking about contingency plans, you'll feel calmer. Start by writing down your biggest concerns. Then, write down the possible consequences of those events and then at least 3 ways you could overcome or deal with those consequences. Number 3. Make your decision and never look back. Don't worry about the past, what's done is done. Learn from it and move on. Have you ever made a decision in life only to second guess it afterwards? Of course you have. It's hard not to wonder whether you've done the right thing and whether there might still be time to take another path. However, keep this in mind, you've already made your decision. So act decisively on it, and dismiss all your anxiety about it. Don't stop to hesitate, to reconsider, or to retrace your steps. Once you've chosen a course of action, stick to it and never waver. If you do find later that you're heading in the wrong direction, there will be time to reconsider what you're doing. Until then, stop worrying about where your new decision will take you. Number 4. Count your blessings, not your trifles. Cliched but true. We've often got a lot more to be thankful than worry about. If you're feeling sad or low, think of one good thing you have enjoyed, slap a big grin on your face and whistle a chipper tune. You'll find it impossible to be blue when acting cheerful. But you don't necessarily need to act outwardly happy, you can simply think of happier thoughts instead. Number 5. Sleep. Learn to rest before you get tired. Everything feels worse when you're exhausted. Scientists agree that emotions are the most common cause of fatigue. And it works the other way around too. Fatigue produces more worries and negative emotions, so it's important to learn how to prevent both fatigue and worry. It should be clear, therefore, that when you're learning how to stop worrying and start living, learn to relax regularly before you feel tired. Otherwise, worries and fatigue will accumulate on top of each other. Number 6. Remember that unjust criticism is often a disguised compliment. When you're criticized, it often means you're accomplishing something noteworthy. In fact, let's take it a step further and consider this: the more you're criticized, the more influential and important a person you likely are. The next time somebody talks you down, don't let it get to you. Stop worrying about criticism and take it as a compliment. Now, if you keep hearing the same negative criticism from various people, it may be time to take a look at what you're doing or how you're acting. Everyone has room for improvement, so don't be afraid to adjust your attitude when it's warranted. Number 7. Put a lid on your worrying. Cooperate with the inevitable. There are some things you can't control. Accept them and plan how to deal with them so you can move on. Sometimes we stress endlessly about negative thoughts and experiences when just walking away from them would serve our mental health far better. To make squashing that worry easier, try this strategy, straight from stock traders. It's called the stop-loss order, where shares are bought at a certain price, and then their price development is observed. If things go badly and the share price hits a certain point, they are sold off immediately. This stops the loss from increasing further. Number 8. Get organized and enjoy your work. There are few greater sources of misery in life than having to work, day in, day out, in a job you despise. It would make sense then that you shouldn't pick a job you hate, or even just dislike doing. But say you already have a job. How can you make it more enjoyable and worry-free? One way is to develop good working habits and stay organized. A desk full of unanswered emails and memos is sure to breed worries. Research has shown that clutter in one's living space, negative emotions, and impaired social ability all predicted high procrastination scores. Clutter will not only stress you out, but it will also make you put off the things you need to be doing, which will only cause more stress. Number 9. Dump envy, enjoy being uniquely you. Your genes are completely unique. Even if someone had the same parents as you, the likelihood of someone identical to you being born is just 1 in 300,000 billion. Despite this amazing fact, many of us long to be someone else, thinking the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. But living your life this way is pointless. Embrace your uniqueness and get comfortable with who you really are in order to learn how to stop worrying and start living. Number 10. Create happiness for others. Research shows that doing good deeds can activate neurotransmitters in the brain that are associated with positive feelings and decrease stress and anxiety. Give for the joy of giving. When we perform acts of kindness, we often do so with the expectation of gratitude. But harboring such expectations will probably leave you disappointed. Stop expecting gratitude when you're kind to someone. Instead, take joy from the act yourself.